you so much. Wonderful interview. I know you're feeling a bit under the weather, Laura, but you did an amazing job. Can you hear me? Yes. Welcome everyone to the LEC postgame lobby. I'm joined by Odoamne and BrokenBlade, and to be completely honest, I don't even think I need to be here with these two. Like,
yeah, I mean,
take it away.
We can meme a lot. I mean, I love the picks. It looks like you're profiling it today, and you're kind of styling on some fools today. It was nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, once the real opponent's Excel was eliminated, I could just for fun it, you know.
Oh, that's true.
Tournament.
That is true.
It's real.
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, I think those picks were obviously practice, right?
Sure.
So I didn't just for fun it. I mean, it didn't look like I for fun it, right? With the mechanics I was showing.
Oh, that was crazy, yeah.
Right?
True. Press R, swing.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. But yeah, it was a very fun series for me, especially.
And when you got the highlight, it was really fun. It was very interactive. You just press R, and then the crocodile can't move.
Yeah, he was also trying to counter me with the executioner's calling. But it didn't counter
Nobody
me.
picked up. Oh, funny enough. We're going to take a look at a few of the highlights. Overall, though, it was really hard for everyone who was watching to, after that game one, it was like, oh, you guys played so well, right? And then game two is like, well, Matt played really well, question mark. Also, G2 threw a little bit. So where does it land? Where do you think the level is of the two teams?
Honestly, I expected Matt to play worse.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they haven't like they've shown a lot of shaky performances throughout the season, I guess. So they were actually playing pretty well. I think Elioya was pressuring a lot, especially top in second game. But yeah, I mean that they can stomp us in the game shows how good they can be, right? I think they still need to be more consistent with how they play the game. I think they do fundamentally wrong stuff with like how they move on the map and stuff like that. And this game, like this last game, for example, the Rumble has no TP. And I know, for example, Odo always takes the TP on the Rumble. He got behind because we put a lot of resources on him, right? So for me, it was really easy to pressure the side lane, especially after I bought the Hull Breaker. And I told my team, hey, let's just go push side until he shows, and then we can play the game. And they really tried to force and overforce all the time. And if you don't die to that, the game is very, very simple. So until that point, it's just like a patient game. So if you're patient, we're gonna win. And if you're not impatient, we're gonna probably lose.
Yeah, I know that Dylan a lot talked about how you and as a team also talked about the fact that you want to be this team that is deeper than we get a gold lane or a gold advantage, so we win, and you want to like build comps that are able to, even in the late game, do something, taking inspiration from some of the more the Asian teams, so to say. My question is, was this an example where you like fell behind but then carried as Swain because you were scaling and the Trist was scaling, or is that not really planned?
I mean, it's never planned to like carry a game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know your strength, right? You know your weaknesses of the comp. We failed the dive bot, and then they failed the dive bot. Both teams just failing the dives, right? If either goes well, I think the game looks very, very different. It could have been a very hard storm from our side, very hard storm from their side. But if they play a lot of melees against a champion that is good against melees, which is Swain, for example, then he will carry, right?
Yeah. What I find really impressive is that even though it's been the same patch, you know, and especially for top lane, the meta the way it is right now, pretty much being Renekton and the counter to Renekton, and then if that's out, you know, maybe some tanky boys. I think it's really impressive that you guys managed to find this creativity in the draft, and it also, you guys kind of have the edge because no one really plays against Swain or Yone so much and stuff like this. Even Cassante, because Cassante everyone was playing in winter, you know, and now all of a sudden Cassante becomes the new pocket because no one is playing against it anymore.
Can we talk about that for a sec? That first game, and like the first time, it's like probably Chasey's like, oh, I remember now. If Cassante can flip me into the tower. But it happened another 2 times. Or you were just outplaying?
The other 2 times I outplayed them.
You were outplaying, yeah.
Like I was just in a way too good of a situation already for the lane. I had total control of the lane. I was too tanky for the ganks, for example, here.
Oh, here, yeah.
I was fully aware of like what is happening because I have flash here, they don't have flash.
But the Jack's also kind of running in circles on the same pixel, so like you see it for a second and then you still get to flip him, so...
That is true. But like nonetheless, I would have escaped, right, still. But This matchup, he for sure forgot how to play this game. Like I was mind blown what happened level 4.
Yeah, so was I.
But yeah, I mean, I was very excited actually this game. After play, I think I got 4 solo kills.
Yeah.
And like my heart was beating really fast because I was doing like crazy plays. So I had to calm myself down a little bit, you know.
Yeah, you were on fire that game.
Yeah.
And it was the MasterCard play of the day, so it's extra good.
Oh,
Right?
the one with the 1v2?
Yeah,
Where
that was
they
it.
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah,
It's
that,
extra good, yeah.
it was
Yeah.
crazy. It was crazy play.
Are you familiar with the Renekton test?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
Did
so
you-
the theory was this. Back in, like, I don't know, season 5 or 6, it's actually, I think Dylan has this meme as well. For sure, I think if you talk to him backstage, he knows it. But there used to be this thing where if you suggest a top laner and you need to figure out if it's good or not, it needs to pass the Renekton test. If the champion can lane into Renekton and not get one shot in an all-in, then it passes the Renekton test. So the thing is, it was funny because the Swain didn't pass the Renekton test for a while, but then it completely crushed it. So it was really funny.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually really funny because like I thought I knew how to play this matchup, and then Chasey suddenly started like one-shotting me, and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Because this didn't happen before, and I'm like, okay. I really need my jungler. Like I was down in lane, even after a counter pick him, right? Like usually you don't want to be down in CS.
No.
But yeah, I got a lot of help, so I could farm safely. And once I hit that Renekton test borderline, right, so I couldn't get one shot. And I think he failed his TP bot, or like he didn't get much when he TP
Oh yeah, you
bot.
got a lot from that play.
And then I got like 2 plays, 2 waves, and then I got the Rileys into solo kill once again. The series, I forgot how to.
Oh, is
How
this you
many,
reminding us that we need to check how many
maybe
solo
we have a
kills
stat
we
here
need?
already
Okay,
of
we're gonna
how
look
many
it up.
solo kills we have.
We're gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, thank you. Would be great.
Must have had like 6 or 7.
I think at least 5.
That's kind of nuts, actually, in a series.
That is
I think 6 or 7 around
kind of
there,
funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Some top laners don't get that in a season.
I got 12.
Yeah, I know.
Impressive.
It was a nice try. Yeah, it's very impressive. I know.
I don't know what's like the average. Maybe we can get that stat as well.
Yeah, we're working on it.
But yeah, until then we can maybe talk about something else. If you have a question to me, Odo.
Okay, you had 5 during this series alone. He had 12 during the whole year. So
I mean, the thing is, my whole year, if you think about it, the first
That is
couple
true,
of months were
No
18
hard
games.
feelings on that.
it happens,
It's
you
hard.
know.
It's
I'm,
hard.
I'm just saying the stats. So.
I'm sure it's hard.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, times were rough a little bit. You know?
You have made it to the grand final. Last year, though, you also made it to the grand final, and this guy came from the bottom rope or whatever.
I mean, he
from
did
the
say
lower bracket,
Excel, the
and
real
he was
opponent
like,
is out, you know. So
Yes.
so
Now I don't have to face Odo.
yeah.
I think the last year when I faced Odo in that series, I think the whole Rogue back then were actually outperforming us in every role. So now that there's no Odo against me up
It's
in the top
free?
lane, I don't know who I play against yet. It's either Fnatic or Mad, right?
Yeah, so it'd be Chasey or allegedly
Wonder, allegedly.
Allegedly Wonder. Well, yeah,
So I will have to prepare against 3 top laners, just in case.
just in case. Does it change a lot?
But how,
Yeah, I mean, it changes a lot, obviously. I think the thing about Wunder is that he didn't play for a while, so he doesn't play a lot of champs. But you still need to respect it, right?
Yeah.
Wunder is a top laner that is just good, right? Very good. So you can't just go on stage and disrespect him. Or what happened yesterday is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An interesting thing, or like, it would be nice to pick your brain, because last year in Malmo, when we played each other, for me and for Rogue, it felt really good that we got to play the series before, you know, because we got to warm up to the stage and everything. And now you guys are back in exactly the same scenario where you guys come from like the upper bracket. You get to see your opponents play the day before, but you kind of don't get this warm up on stage. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're one of those players or those teams that it feels really good to have this way of warming up on a big stage before a game like that?
It's a good point. I think every player reacts to it differently. For me, I think I really like the when you go on stage for the first time and there's so many like people cheering. I like it a lot. It gives you a lot of pressure. It makes you a bit like nervous. You know, it makes your heart beat a bit faster. And I think that feeling is very, very nice. You know, like it, right? I think obviously it's very nice to have like a warm up kind of thing, like a momentum. I think that can be very dangerous. And I think it's especially worse if you guys win the very first game after, right? Because that just shows how much momentum you guys have.
Yeah.
Because I think the series before that, you guys did a 3-1.
Yeah, we lost the first game against Fnatic, and then we won.
So you guys came from like a mega big winning streak into winning, and then that gives you guys a lot of confidence, right? And for us, I remember back then, the series we had, we didn't take the losses very well back then, and you guys just crushed us that time, and hopefully the people like me and Caps, I guess, are the ones remaining.
Yeah.
But we have our coaching staff still who can also help, you know, with like I think mental state in a series is very, very important. Whether it goes very, very good or very, very bad, because if you're way too happy, you can run it down really fast, right? And if you're like way too sad, then you're not going to call for things you need to call for and stuff like that. So I think we have really good staff members to take care of that, you know.
Yeah, amazing. That's good. That's the adaptation that's going to have to be made because you're in the same position. And also, I think it's kind of ultra special because as a competitor, I'm sure that we've been in the studio and you've won your amazing titles here, but this is completely different. You're going into Montpellier now where that's what it's all about for you guys as players, right? So I'm super excited to see you all on stage there. It will be Fnatic versus Mad Lions on the Saturday. And then whoever wins versus G2. Give me a prediction, Odo.
I mean, given from everything we've seen, I mean, Fnatic has been doing some weird stuff with how they're winning, because even yesterday I didn't expect them to win, especially with Wonder being kind of plug and play.
Yeah.
But there is some weird factor, or some X factor there, because everyone keeps doubting them in some way. But for me, it's like G2 has been showing a lot of really, really good things for the entirety of this, you know, year, I would say. But especially this the season finals, they've been ramping up very, very well. So for me, my favorite is G2 to take it all and BB winning.
Thank you.
You love to see BB winning, don't you?
I mean, it's fun. Even though I'm like, you know, salty that I don't get to play there and play against BB and all of this. I mean, BB is very likable, you know. So
it's true.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind to see BB win.
Yeah, top laners generally pretty likable, I think.
Really?
Sample size.
I kind of hate everyone except BB. So.
And yourself.
Yeah.
Probably.
BB is really funny, so.
Okay, I see. You hear it. Anyways, before we talk about who else Odoamne hates, we're going to sign off. We're going to take a picture, and then we're going to go to Montpellier. Yes, the very last one. Last show, actually, for the whole year in the studio. So that's kind of crazy. Whoa. Okay.
Oh.
Yay. Awesome. But yeah, as said, last show here in the studio for the entire year. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, production, smurfing it all year, as always. And then next week, we'll tie it all up in a nice bow over in Montpellier. There we have the finals of the EMEA Masters final, of course, between Karma and Core and Movistar Riders on Friday. LEC Saturday, Fnatic versus Mad Lions. Whoever wins that versus G2 and this guy to become the 2023 season champion. We'll see you in France. Au revoir.
Reply from Alioya. And just get him at Chasey. Knocked underneath the tower. It's a 2-2 shot. Chasey's taken down. Dashes for now. Gets stunned up by Alioya. It's gone all out. Pulls Chasey underneath the tower. And he does it once more. Well, we might be looking at level 6. Level 6. It's time for the Crow Storm. Kazi forced to cleanse and flash away. And Hilly's already dead.
Well. It's fine, guys. Too much. That's the thing. We can't do much.
No cleanse. He flashed. Sinner is gonna ult him, okay? Yeah, doesn't matter. Kill him again. Kill him again after. I'll try to help you. All dead. I'm mega huge. Nice. Renton flashed.
It's fine.
Nice, boys. Good job, baby. Everyone.
Not going to be able to find the Q, flashes away. Kazi and Hilly staying alive for now. Rooted in, plays Hunt, needs one more shot. This level up on the heel. They find the kill, but immediately lose 2. And this thing, in fact, takes so much damage underneath the tower. Below 100, one lost onto and Hunt somehow picks it up. What was that? 2 quick kills. Kazi at least gets one in reply, but that was awful.
What the hell are these dives? Stop diving each other.
Alioya is nearby. Cataclysm's available, and BrokenBlade forced to run for his life. Not gonna be able to get burned down just yet, but here comes Alioya. Cataclysm on his head. kill secured.
Zan ult. I ult. Can someone push top, I think. Someone push top. Okay, look,
we go.
Look, LeBlanc. You have hook. LeBlanc is gonna die. Okay, nice, huge.
Look, good ult. I think it's very good.
We're killing everyone. Yeah, nice.
Nice. This is how we do it. Good job.
Alive.
And G2 Esports will make it to their 14th final in the LEC. And G2 looking to win the 2023